team like Kyrie and KD, or the Lake Show with King James and AD. Wish I could match him up with the bad boys from the 80s, but no black and white, I need that in HD. HenDawgz.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawg, and we back to it. You know how we do it. NBA legends and players explain why Pistol Pete Maravich would destroy today's NBA. Let's get into the video, but before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. So you right there that's watching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, man. Hit the button, then come back and finish the video. Go ahead and like this video if you like it. And go ahead and write something in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about Pistol Pete, because I get a lot of different reviews on Pistol Pete. Whenever I do Pistol Pete reaction videos, I get some people that say he's like criminally underrated. He don't get enough credit. He was arguably the best scorer ever. And then I get other people that just say like all he was just another Carmelo Anthony type guy that just scored points but never won anything. So let me know how y'all feel about Pistol Pete. But I'm hearing this is a really good video. I'm hearing this is one of the better Pistol Pete Maravich videos, so let's get into it. I don't want to do too much talking. We got NBA legends and players explain why Pistol Pete Maravich will destroy today's NBA. Let's get it.
Imagine Pistol Pete Maravich in today's NBA, a man that players and even legends say was several generations ahead of his time. The guy was shooting deep shots before they even introduced the three-point line. By the time they did, it was the last season of his career. He had dribble moves that players didn't even think of, and had unique passes that even the greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson, had to steal from. Just think about this. This guy scored 68 points without a single three. Imagine if he had a three-point line while scoring that many points. This is just a crazy thing to do, especially for a guard. Pistol Pete was a pure scorer and an elite shooter, and had a limited range that would make a nightmare for any defense in today's NBA. He was known for his ability to shoot from well beyond the three-point line, and his quick release and accuracy will make him a lethal threat from anywhere on the court. In an era where the three-point shot has become a staple of the game, Maravich's ability to shoot from distance will be a huge asset to any team. So I'm going to show you NBA legends and players talking about how good Pistol Pete was, and why he will be dominant in today's NBA. After this video, let me know how many points you think a prime Pistol Pete will average in today's NBA. So enjoy the video, man.
At least start.
He had all the tricks, basically. He could play in any era. He would dribble between his legs, behind his back, throw great passes, had great shooting range, and he was a great scorer. He had 68 points in one game, averaged 31 points one season when he led the NBA in scoring. So he could play in any era, the era before, during, or even today.
I 100% agree. Like, he's like one of the only players. There's a few out there that I watch that like back then, watching these highlights from the 70s and 80s, it looks like he's playing in 2023. Like there's super good players out there from back in the day, but they play like an 80s player. He's actually playing like a modern day player back then. So like that just goes to show like he would 100% fit in. He probably wouldn't. He wouldn't fit in today's game. He would stand out because he would be that good. And he was a great shooter, great ball handler. Like he was like Steph Curry kind of before Steph Curry for real. So he would 100% be great in today's game.
Man, you couldn't steal it from Pistol Pete. He come down there and make up shots in the air. The no-look passes, the dribble the ball and pat it with one hand. That's where I saw that from Pistol Pete. That's where I got it from.
That's where Magic got it from, y'all.
How do you do a little showtime there?
Handles. And people always say, just Pete handle the ball.
Tiny Archibald.
He could go this way with it, that way with it.
If you know, you know.
Put it this way. Next thing you know, the yo-yo goes out that way. But yo-yo was best. Okay, the basketball was like an invisible string on his hand. I mean, he could really handle the ball.
Pete was a tougher competitor in himself with his floppy socks and laissez-faire attitude, on the court, so to speak. He was a guy that could do it all. I mean, offensively, and we used to talk about it, a lot. Even talk with him because we were friends. And the things that he did, He practiced them. Nothing that he did was so much spontaneous. It was because he had done these things over and over again in practice. And he got 68 on us, as you know, when I was with the Knicks. And I used to tell Clyde and Butch Beard that he only got 6 on me.
He shot a shot one time in practice.
68 on the Knicks?
He shot it, he let it go, he turned around and started running, and as the ball ripped the net, he said, he did this, and
that's Steph Curry.
Larry did that. Larry got that from him, and he knew he would do something like that. I was like, going, man, how good is that guy? He shoots the ball, turns around, and he runs it. As it's ripping the net, he just does that. Then we play horse. And he had some shots where he jumped out of bounds. He had shots I never thought of ever shooting shots.
Outside the line, jump in with 2 feet. It's all trick shot now. Come in the line.
Pistol Pete was a globetrotter for real.
There you go, brother.
He was a globetrotter.
Jump it on in, spit it off the back of it. You gotta be a bank. Gotta be a bank.
There's the whistle when the first letter goes up on Hawkins.
Hey, what is this?
Played Pete in horse, and it was an adventure. Because
you play a horse?
I got no chance of beating him the first time.
It took to make that ball talk, I think. Pistol Pete is a natural nickname.
Having the kind of career he had in college and bringing that same game and style in the pros, you know, really make people, or I would say the people that didn't really get a chance to see him, really meant something. We lost him too early, you know, because I think his accomplishment to the game of basketball, man, and how he played it and how he loved it and how he could do things with that basketball that most couldn't.
The man averaged 40 in college, y'all. Like, they haven't even really talked about that yet. Hopefully they do. But just imagine average, not scoring, not having a 40-point game in college. He averaged 40. Like, that means some games he going for 50. Like, it might be games he go for 30, 50, like 40. Like, he's going for 30, 40, or 50 every single game for 4 straight years. Like, that's crazy. And they said, like, I think his dad was the coach, and I don't care about none of that. He still has to make the shots. I don't care if his dad was James Naismith. Like, you still got to make the shots. Like, yeah, that's so crazy, man. 40 points in college.
We gonna remember it for a long time, man.
I've achieved a lot of great things in my entire lifetime in basketball, and I think I probably should feel fortunate that I was able to do what I did and have the relationships that I did and so forth in basketball and played before the people and had the fans I've had and so forth. I think that means a little bit more to me now that I've gotten a little older and so forth than even a world championship with me. I met Pete when he was maybe a sophomore in high school. I met him at Dolph Shades' camp up in New York. And his father, Chris Maravich, was a guest speaker. Neboy's son, you know, he couldn't have been more than 13, 14 years old. But the skills that he had as a basketball player, even at that young age, were unbelievable. You knew that he was going to be a great player. He was an exhibitionist, the dribbling, the passing, you know, throwing the ball, taking it off its head, shooting it into the back. I mean, he had so many tricks. It was unbelievable. I would like to be remembered as a person that played the game, for one standpoint, to entertain the fans.
And man, that ball looks like a part of his hand. And I said, he must spend a lot of time dribbling and able to shoot the way he can shoot. Piston was like a guy, the game was boring to him, so he had to create things to keep him interested.
I was going to say that. I don't know how much of a good thing that is. Kind of correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think what most people say and how I think you kind of should want to be is like, the one thing I want to do is win. I don't really care about, you know, anything else. I just want to win the game. Pistol Pete said the one thing he want to do is entertain the fans. Like, that was his main goal, like, to entertain the fans. But I mean, that's amazing. That's iconic. Like, we talk about him to this day. He ain't played in 40 years, but I'm still doing reaction videos on him because of the approach that he took to the game. So obviously he did something right. But I think that was kind of interesting that he said his main goal was not to win games, not to win championships, but to entertain the fans. Like, that's kind of funny. It shows.
Had so much razzle dazzle in his game. He was just hard to guard.
Oh my God.
The way he handled the basketball so flippantly and so sort of carelessly really offended a lot of basketball purists.
Not offended. He got pistol on the back of his
What
jersey.
Pistol would do, he would take the ball and set it behind his back, catch the ball, and shoot. That was sweet.
He was a
That
true
was sweet.
entertainer. And I
Dave
think he
Bing,
looked
man.
at entertainment more than basketball.
Facts.
He used his basketball as a form of self-expression, and one of the real leaders in bringing basketball into this sort of area of artistry. It was like his form of art.
It was like the ball was an extension of him. He could shoot it from deep, he could take it in, he could wrap it around. I mean, he was doing stuff that you never saw.
That's crazy.
You know, and you never see a white boy doing that on top of it. This is a white boy I'm talking about. This ain't a brother, but he must have had some brother in him because he was a dazzler.
Pete was blessed with a great amount of ability, natural athletic ability. Pete could do a lot of amazing things with the basketball. He was really a showman. I mean, Pete would go out there, put on a show. I mean, that's what he wanted to do. That's how he looked at himself, as a showman.
Pete Maravich was so far ahead of his time.
My God.
He was 10 plays ahead of everyone else.
He was a showman. Played the game with a tremendous player.
I mean, look at Jason Williams. You can't get Pistol Pete.
Looking at some of these little guys here, they probably never saw Pistol Pete play. I hope they look on YouTube. Tell them what Pistol Pete was.
Boy,
Who is this guy?
in college, Pistol and I fought for the scoring leader in the country, and all 3 years I was second to Pistol. And I used to make excuses. The only reason Pistol scored more than me is because his dad coached him and so on and so forth. Until I got to play against him, and that was a lot of baloney. He was. Goodness gracious! It's hard to describe somebody that was about 6'6", 6'7", handle the ball as well or better than myself. He just didn't shoot the basketball. He was a pure shooter. He would pass the ball through the eye of a needle. I got a chance to play with him for the first time in the high school All-American game in Memphis. And it's tough. You're trying to play your game and you're watching him. You know, you're in the backcourt with him. We were starting guard for the All-American team. And I got to be great friends with him from that point.
I can remember when Pete got traded from Atlanta, where he started his career, over to New Orleans when the team went down there in his expansion team. And they had never won a game. They were 0-14, and they were the worst team in the league. And Otto Moore was the center. They couldn't do anything, but Pete was just lighting them up. And the Portland Trailblazers, we go in there. We had a team, and it was not the championship team, but we had a good enough team. And we were pounding them early, way up at halftime. And Pete in the second half just takes over, and he goes absolutely wild. He's playing 1 against 5, and he's up and down the court, shooting jumpers, hooks, full court behind the back passes through guys' legs. He does everything, and at the very last play of the game, we're up 1, and Pete dribbles up. 4 of our guys go chase him because they know he's not going to pass it, and he's falling out of bounds, and he shoots it as he's tumbling over the row of fans in the corner, literally. And I am standing underneath the basket waiting for the last rebound of the game. We're going to win the game, and they're not going to win a game ever, the New Orleans Jazz. And the ball swishes perfectly through the net. He's unbelievable. And he reminds me a lot, if you can compare him to anybody, to Steve Nash today. Although Pete was much bigger. Pete's 6'5", and much more athletic in terms of the jumping ability until he tore his knee up. I mean, that really changed everything for Pete. Amazing about Pete, 44 points per game, career, for 3 straight years in an era with no three-point line. Dale Brown, who coached at LSU after Press and Pete were there. Dale Brown went back and charted all the games with the running score. You know, Maravich free throw, Maravich 22-foot jumper, Maravich layup. And he's calculated that with the current college three-point rule at 19.9, Pete Maravich would have averaged 13 three-point makes per game, which would have given him a career average of 57 points per game under today's rules. That guy is unbelievable. We love him. We missed him terribly. What a great friend. What a great human.
I would like to put Pistol Pete at 2, because for me, he was the first, no offense, Brett, he was the first white guy No style and flair that I've seen. So
why would I take offense to that?
Because you're a white guy. Hold on, no, but Ernie's white. Ernie is not white. Ernie is light skinned.
Yeah, Ernie got a little mix, a little 25%.
No, but my question to the panel is: was he the first white guy to have the flash and style and between the legs and behind the back? I mean, because my favorite move was the move he did to Jerry West.
Pete Maravich, he would take the basketball, right, and he would fake the pass. He would bounce it here, bounce it behind him, fake the pass, and you as a defender would jump, and he'd turn back around, catch the ball, and shoot it.
That's crazy.
that was a hell of a move. And I was like, okay, I got to try it. I tried it in the game. And Steve Coulter stole it.
I was labeled very young as a showman. To try to bring fans back, you have to do something other than just put the ball in the hoop.
Pistol Pete Maravich's unique abilities would translate seamlessly to the modern game. If Maravich was playing in the NBA today, he would undoubtedly be one of the best players in the league. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and tell me, again, how many points do you think a prime Pistol Pete will average in today's NBA? So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and show us the YG game, and I'm out.
Great video. Yeah, let me know how many points y'all think Pistol Pete will average in today's game, where there's not much defense being played. It's more or less just running and gunning. So I think Pistol Pete would fit perfectly into this into today's game. But why do y'all think that he didn't have, like, I mean, he had a decent NBA career, don't get me wrong, but I felt like, and I'm sure this is the same feeling for everybody, Pistol Pete should have had a better NBA career. But why do y'all think that didn't happen? What happened? Was it, they said, I heard Bill Walton say that, he blew his knee out, so that might have something to do with it. Injuries can always, mess up somebody's career. But let me know in the comments, why do y'all think Pistol Pete didn't, coming from averaging 40 in college, like, he was on pace to become, like, probably top 10 player of all time, which, I don't know if he was able to do that in the league. So let me know why you think that didn't happen. But I appreciate y'all like always. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and like this video if you like this video. And go ahead and write something in the comments. Let me know where Pistol Pete ranks on your all-time list. Everybody's list is different. There's no right or wrong list. This is just your opinion. So let me know where Pistol Pete ranks on that. But I appreciate y'all like always. We out.